Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Manny V and Terry McKenna bringing you the live feed once again for day number 3 here at the 2012 Sintra Portugal Pro. Manny V here, and I'm excited. Terry McKenna, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, mate. Yeah, got a good sleep last night. We've had some pretty big days here at Praia Grande, folks, like 9-hour days. And, you know, in a European summer, it can kind of take your toll on it. But, mate, great news this morning. We've got a fresh swell, and it's kind of inched up a little overnight. I guess it's around 3 to 4 feet. Still a little bit rogue, a bit green because of the freshness of the swell. But, mate, the bottom line is we got waves for the best guys in the world.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we've been waiting for. It's always a hit or miss when you have these set days, set times, and if there's swell in the forecast, and it's when the first heats of the main event go down, we're pumped. I mean, the first heat of the day, we're going to have Guilherme Temenga, Alex Uranga, Diego Cabrera, Joao Pinheiro here to rock and roll in Sintra's Praia Grande, and the first heat, stacked.
Yeah, they're totally stacked. And, you know, we wound up the trials yesterday in some pretty cool conditions, but we've already got some scores coming through, folks. It looks like GT has gone straight to work nice and early, and he's already got 2 waves under his belt. So we'll throw to the vision and look forward to keeping you guys online all day for what will be a huge day at the Sintra Portugal Pro for 2012.
Yeah, so the riders have heat number 1 of the showdown format has been underway. We have 30-minute heats out in the water. We are already in the 2.5-minute mark into the heat, and Guilherme Temenga, in true fashion, starting off with a pretty good high score of 5.5.
Yeah, I actually saw GT downstairs. He came up and asked me if there was some water going around. I went and got him a bottle of water, and I'll tell you what, he's got his game face on.
Oh,
you know, when GT's just got that war paint on, you know?
Yes, exactly.
He's just such an incredible competitor, so naturally competitive and so incredibly talented. But yeah, he's got a 5.5 and a little .63 to just open up his account. But that is the lineup there. It's Guilherme Temenga from Brazil in the red. We've got Alex Uranga from the Basque countries in the white. Joao Pinheiro, of course, is out here from Portugal. And Diego Cabrera, of course, representing the Canary Islands. The Spanish rider is in the yellow. Great first heat of the day. And coming up next, BP, Yuri, Mike Stewart, and Goncalo Ferreira. Of course, Goncalo is the local wildcard here.
Yeah, local legend. He's been he's one of the first names I've seen come out of Portugal in my generation. So he's one of those old school guys, and he's thrown his hat in the ring, and he has a pretty stacked heat. He has 3 former world champions in his heat, so it's going to be very fun for him out in the water, white, up and riding.
Yeah, that is, of course, Alex Uranga, and that was a big roll, and like he just got crunched on landing on that one. But Alex Uranga has been in very good form this year. He's had a lot of close heats, Alex Uranga. I mean, you have those years where, you know what I mean, where you have close heats. Sometimes they go with you, sometimes they go against you. I must admit that just being an observer this year, Manny, that Alex Uranga has been on the bad side of, you know, some very close calls. He's looking for a good result here in Sintra, and there's a little shot of the rashies there. You can see the strength of the wind is really blowing in today. It's coming kind of from right to left and on your screen, and it's got a bit of force in it. So it's going to push this swell up even more for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, last night we went to bed. It was glassy, and at maybe 10 p.m. last night, the wind started picking up, and that is what we want. I mean, we want the winds. The winds are going to bring the swell. I personally would rather have big and windy than small and glassy out the back.
Yeah, well, that is, of course, Joao Pinheiro there. And Pinheiro been really surfing amazingly. His riding has been just first class in the trials. And he just throws it up. A nice big single major manoeuvre. Criteria does allow for that sort of stuff. So the boys kind of feeling their way into the heats today. Manny, we've got round 1 and 2 of the men's. And we've got also the 2 rounds of the girls. It'll be round 3 and round 4 will be surfed here today. It's a massive day. Right now it's 8:35 local time, and here's the replay.
All right, Joao Pinheiro, a nice clean bottom turn, a little bouncy. The conditions are a little stormy, a victory at sea out in the water, but these guys are able to maneuver, and he found the lip perfectly. Joao Pinheiro made it into the main event by the skin of his teeth. I mean, Maxime Castillo was in that 4th position in semifinal number 2, and it all came down to the last 2 scores. Joao and Maxime, very tight, very close. But now, here's what's going on in the water. Guilherme Temenga.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Temenga's in the lead with a 5.5 and a .63. I do have a couple of other scores coming through. Look, I must say that I feel for Maxime. He's an incredible little talent from France, that guy.
Yeah, he and his brother, Alex.
Yeah, really good, those twins. And he just missed out by the smallest of margins. And I'm sure that's going to be a name that we're going to hear a lot more of in the future, mate. But last wave scores coming through for Joao Pinheiro was a 5.25. He did go into the lead, and you'll see that come onto the webcast screens shortly.
Guilherme, can he punch through for that second roll on the inside? He almost looked like he was doing it blindfolded. But that first one was complete, came into the bottom second half section. Let's take another look, Guilherme Tamega.
Yeah, well, you can see Tamega just eyeing off this section here. He's trying to really milk this one by getting not only the one, but you can see that wave just kind of doubling up, and not even GT and the strength of that man, that Brazilian, who probably got the strongest hands in the business, couldn't ride through that crunchy little inside section. So he puts his head down and heads back out the back. But, yeah, he's holding on to a 5.5. That's the best score of the heat so far. Joao Pinheiro with a 5.25, also getting off to a pretty good start. Both Diego Cabrera and Alex Uranga is having a bit of a slow start, but I tell you what, it's really great to see Diego Cabrera back with a singlet on Manny V, isn't it, mate?
Oh, man, he had, well, as you can see, the situation change live on your screen. Joao now in first place, but yeah, in Chile a few months ago, Diego Cabrera had a bad one. He hit his head on the reef in Chile, in Arica, and he was hospitalized for a few days. And it was a scary few days. I mean, because a lot of rumors were coming out and nobody really knew what happened. But to see him back out here in the water is, it touches our hearts.
Yeah,
I mean,
look,
it was scary.
and I tell you what. The doctors, I was first on the scene with Yo-Yo. You know, we rushed into the hospital to make sure he's okay, and the doctor said, showed us some x-rays and said, look, this is very serious. He's got bleeding on the brain, and any lesser man would have been, the doctors actually diagnosed him as being out of the water for a year. So to have him back here in a couple of months, I mean, it's just testament to how fit and strong that kid is, and, I'm really looking forward to seeing him, do well here this year.
All right, well, we're all stoked to see him alive and well out in the water in the yellow jersey. That is Diego Cabrera. You saw a wave from Joao Pinheiro in the black jersey. He's clocking in some waves. He and GT are going, 1 for 1.
Yeah, well, going to be very interesting here. See what happens. First and second, of course, go straight through to round 3. So you don't want to come third and fourth in these first round heats. You do end up in that, that repechage round, which is always pretty tough as we see Cabrera up and riding.
Well, that was going to be pretty interesting. We saw White, I believe, Alex Arana behind him pulling out. But look at that. Diego, nice flip on the inside right there. So it's like riding a bike.
Yeah, absolutely. GT also dealing with that sucky little inside section. We're sitting right on low tide here at the moment, Manny, and the waterline's receded way back today. It's a very extreme tide, and as a result, with the freshness of the swell and the low tide, it's making conditions a little tricky out there.
Yeah, with this angle right here, with this view, you can get a good idea on what it's like out here. Kind of stormy conditions, but there's waves here with a little punch. Well, see that little kick out from Alex Uranga. That's going to be pretty interesting.
Well, that was probably good sportsmanship from Alex there. The last thing you want to do is he's a good friend of that guy, and I'm just wondering. It was probably a priority situation there with, you can hear the guys in the background. We got the 4-man priority in place at the moment and probably just kicked in there, and Alex Uranga on the inside realising that, Diego Cabrera had priority over him. So that's good to see the fellow in yellow getting himself on the scoreboard. Big day here, folks. They're 30-minute heats. Got 4 hours of competition in round number 1 of this Grand Slam event for the men. We've got the showdown format once again underway. And this is, of course, event number 5 on the IBA GSS World Men's Tour for 2012. Coming up next, Ben Player, Uri Valadeo, Mike Stewart, and Goncalo Faria. We've got some crazy heats throughout the tournament. Many. Heat number 3, Amaury Laverne, Jared Houston, Lareo, and Colucci.
Diego Cabrera bouncing his way down the face of that right-hander right there, but not much given up for Mother Nature on that. Alex Uranga, we saw him on the right-hander over there. And can we cut to it? Oh, just out of view. Our cameras are actually, the camera guys are getting situated, still moving the tripod around, making sure they got that nice angle. So we might have a replay, but the replays are back in business as well. So don't worry.
Yeah, we're just, I guess, man, and I saw the team this morning. I said, how are we, guys? And everyone's a little bleary-eyed, man. We're all, the long days here, 9.5 hours of competition each day.
Yeah.
Long time to be webcasting too, mate. And, it's great that we've got all this talent and it's helping you out. But speaking of talent, here's Yellow again.
Diego Cabrera, another not-so-happening wave right there. Diego Cabrera drops into pretty much nothing. But look at this, GT bouncing his way across the section, looking for a lip, but nothing there. So he goes for a nice spin high on top of the wave, comes back down, maintains his speed, and nice roll. And look at that. The wave doubled in size. And so when he went up there, his free fall was twice the height.
Yeah,
but he pulled it off, I believe.
Well, he landed it. It's going to be interesting to see if the judges call that complete. And we'll have a little look as we see Cabrera on another little one. But GT in the lead at the moment ahead of João Pinheiro. Diego Cabrera, his first wave scores came through at a 4.75. After that, he's had a couple of short little scores, and Alex Uranga has really got nothing substantial at the moment, holding on to a 3.25 on his best wave.
All right, we are pretty much almost at the halfway mark of heat number 1, round number 1 of the showdown format. And again, this is a non-elimination round. First and second head on over to round number 3. Third and fourth go down to round number 2, and we will see that round go down today. So don't go anywhere. We got tons of action ready to go down here at the 2012 Sintra Portugal Pro.
Yeah, that's right. So these first round heats have got, so much focus on them. I mean, first or second place in round 1 can skip that that scary round 2 rapid charge round where, it's either go off or go home when you get into that round. So we will see today, we'll see the bottom 8 eliminated out of this 32-man format. So just waiting for those scores to come through. It does appear that GT is in the lead. Red is in first place. He's had a 5.5 and a 3.65. João Pinheiro sitting in second. Cabrera in third, only needing a 2.11, so very close there. And Alex Uranga from the Basque Country in white, sitting in fourth position and needing a 3.61 to go to second. That's the deal, folks. Heat number 1 of the day, live from Praia Grande. And up and riding is that man in yellow, Cabrera. Well, we just said he needed a 2.11, and let's see what he can come up with here, Manny.
Oh, goes for a roll through the lip, and you know what? That's going to be the wave he was looking for. Nice, clean roll. Maintained his rail through the entire. It's pretty bumpy out there. The conditions, I mean, you can see there is swell in the water, but along with that, we have the winds from the northwest, and that's creating a little bump on the face of the wave, little texture. But if you can make it through that, you're going to have a little punch, a little kick, a little section that you can do a maneuver, and Diego took advantage.
Yeah, that's right. You can see those a little one blew out on the inside there, but it's that inside section. It's very powerful. It's a lot of crunch, and some guys will really need to have their timing on the money to take advantage of that. But if you hit it right, like we saw Diego right then, you can really use that lip to push you in, and it looks like a 4.5 for Cabrera has momentarily moved into the lead. So that's pretty close there. Tamiga now in second, needing a 3.75 to take back first. Pinheiro down into third, and Uranga down into fourth. But even Alex in fourth place, only chasing a 5.88 Manny. So that's not a very big score with plenty of time to go, 15 minutes on the clock.
I think that's what we're going to see today is very spread out wave selection. There are a ton of very consistent waves coming in through the outside, but the amount of time the guys are taking to paddle back out, I mean, we still see Diego paddling back out from his last wave. He took that pretty far inside, so that time paddling back out, and then that's going to pretty much spread out of what we're going to see throughout the heat. Waves pretty much like those 3 guys out the back. There'll probably be a 2-wave set. Third guy will probably have to wait it out, but there's going to be a lot of time between waves, and that could be in your advantage if you use it strategically.
Yeah, well, Praia Grande is notoriously tough paddle out when there's a bit of swell around. I mean, today it's only 3, maybe 4 feet when the bombs come through, but that's enough, and the swell's got enough oomph in it just to make that impact zone a little hard to kind of punch by, so you can get washed back a lot. It's a bit like Zicatella in a way that, you don't have really too many rips to work with. The water comes into the beach, and then it kind of swells back straight out underneath the waves, and it's just there's never a good spot to paddle out here. It's always just go for it and, give it your best. But that's the current situation, folks. Diego Cabrera back in with a competition vest on and looking the goods with a 4.75 and a 4.5. Tamiga in second spot. Ja Pinheiro sitting in third, needing that 3.89, and Alex Uranga needing a 5.88 for this first heat of the day.
We're going to give a shout out to everybody who has tuned in for these early heats. You know that I put the word out there. You don't want to miss any of these heats because they're all stacked and with some big waves. Look at this out the back. Guilherme Tamega coming around that section. Spin high on top of the face of that wave. Comes down to the inside and classic textbook Guilherme Tamega roll on that inside. Good wave right there for Guilherme.
Yeah, really nice. Just a nice little combination riding. Always serves to the criteria, GT, and you could just see him just steady himself as he went up for that roll, and you could just see the determination in his style. He just went, I'm going to hang on to this one regardless. So very early in the morning here, folks, in Portugal. You can see a little sea mist out the back there and a very fresh swell coming in to Praia Grande. Just a couple of hardcore spectators rocking up early. Traditionally, the Portuguese people, they're not real good in the morning, are they, Minnie? They like to have a little sleep in, don't they?
Well, on that same note, they don't go out to have a drink at the local bar at 9 or 10 o'clock. They're walking out at midnight. So
yeah.
Their times are a little different than mine.
Yeah, sure.
All right, here we go. 12 seconds remaining out in the water. Guilherme Tamega is back on top, but look at this, out the back. Alex Uranga in the white jersey putting together a couple combinations on the outside and a nice roll coming into the inside, and he's able to get back onto the face of the wave and waiting for another section. A solid ride. He's still going. Alex Uranga, I don't know how many rolls he put in there with spins, but that was a solid combination all the way down to the inside. Alex Uranga.
Yeah, well, he needed that one. Let me tell you, he needed a 6 to go to second, and that could spell trouble for Diogo Cabrera, because I believe that's probably one of the best waves of the heat so far. Really good combinations for that man in the white singlet. Probably the only negative aspect of that ride, man, would be the fact that judges do like to see variety of repertoire.
Yep.
And when you do the same thing over and over and over like that, you tend to get scored a little less for each one that you do because, we're looking, here's the replay anyway. So, look, he did open up with a spin, which is pretty cool.
Yes, he did. And then you can see him setting up for the inside, and he was able to sneak in another spin as he's looking for the inside section, and he hits it right off the bat before he comes to the inside with that roll. Nice landing, and is able to land and project his bottom turn to get back into the power pocket, come back into the inside, and another roll. That one's a little bit forced, and you can see him going off the bottom and forcing another roll right there, but an awesome, solid wave for the Basque man, Alex Uranga, out the back in the black jersey coming around the bottom, Joao Pinheiro.
Well, Pinheiro is down into fourth position at the moment. He doesn't need too much of a score, mate, to get himself back up. Looks like that last wave for Alex Uranga was a 4. Was that a ride? A 4.85? Maybe that's the score, I think.
Well, we are going to see what they give him. I mean. So what you see on your screen is pretty much what we see on our screen. So keep your eyes on it. And if we see any change too, we'll let you know. But look at this. Joao, once again, trying to find a good section, but he's coming up short on this these waves he's choosing in the last couple waves. Shout out to everybody tuning in from Australia. Of course, we got so many people tuning in from Australia every single day, and we appreciate it. You guys keep doing it. Luke in Australia, Andy in the UK, Morad in Morocco, Jason in Tassie, Greg Hart in Australia as well, Daniel tuning in from Oz. We got Hassan in France. Wyatt is in Hawaii. Isn't it really early or late there? Look at the ladies tuning in, and Hayne tuning in from Australia as well.
Yeah, well, don't forget the girls will be coming up later on, folks, and you can see Lily Pollard and Isabella Souza over there on the left. Some of the world's best riders just there looking pretty determined as well. They all got their game face on. Look at that little one. Little scrunchy little face in the corner. But this man is out in front, as quite often is the case when you get GT in the red in the first heat of the day. He's such a, so contest savvy.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very, very, experienced campaigner, that man. And he'll be looking to try and better his second best score, which at this stage is a 5.5. So it's still Diego Cabrera only just hanging on in front of Alex Uranga. Here's the replay of GT. Look at the guy's face. Look at him just zoom in and zero in on that lip. Once again, nice extension on the roll. And great determination and perfect timing there as GT just flips that one over and ducks out very professionally.
He's a machine. He's a contest machine, and it's unreal. He's one of those rare breeds where he can come out on super small days and just kill it and turn around and just drop in on some monster waves too. He's one of those rare performers.
He's an incredible human. I was standing next to him downstairs, and I swear to God that he looked younger this morning than he did this time last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, Benjamin Button. He's just going backwards. Whereas I feel like Benjamin Glutton.
Well, you always have an ice cream in your hand every time I see you.
I'm going to have to lay off that stuff.
You saw the guys getting ready for their next heat. Ben Player, Udi Valadao, and Mike Stewart and Juan Carlo Faria from Portugal. Those guys are going to be coming up, but currently out in the water. 7 minutes, 37 seconds remaining again. These are 30-minute heats. Top two riders will go straight to round number 3, bypassing round number 2. Third and fourth, they're going to meet up with other third and fourth place competitors in round number 2. So
yeah,
if you got a chance to bypass a heat, you don't have to exert more energy. You can worry about your next heat, later down the line. But only by getting first and second. Third and fourth, they're going to have to do another 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's one of the beauties of the showdown format is the rapid charge rounds that we've got in there. There's a couple of them, in fact, 2 non-elimination rounds, and the bottom line is that you don't want to go through that. It's just a lot of extra work and a bit more heartache and stress. We're coming down to about 7 minutes remaining, folks. So GT's last wave, 4.18, did not fall in the top 2. Judges deeming not better than that 5.5 that he got a little earlier, and I got to agree with him. That was probably just the end of that ride was just a bit weird, the way that lip didn't really pitch over. The other ones he really punched off the end and did quite well. Diego Cabrera holding on by the skin of his teeth with Alex Uranga coming at him, only needing a 4.4, and João Pinheiro needs a 4. Nothing in this. He goes Cabrera.
It's going to be a tight one when it comes down to the wire. Diego Cabrera, that's all he got on that wave. So it's still anybody's ball game when it's in that second position, or actually every position. They still have 6 minutes remaining. Diego only needing a 6.63 for that first place spot. So nobody's safe.
No, that's right. No one's safe at all. There's the boys just settling in. A little fresh in the mornings here, but by lunchtime it gets up to a steamy 30, 32 degrees Celsius and then cools off again at night. It's beautiful weather. Just such a great time of the year here in Europe, in Portugal. Just saw a little message come through from Margot Bennett, PMBA. So, g'day, Margot. Sambo's coming up in heat number 6. Let's have a look at Sam's heat. Andrew Lester, Sam Bennett, Miguel Adu. That was the whiz kid from yesterday.
Yeah.
And Bennett Alasua, of course, the Basque Country local, ripping as well. So, Margot asking, where's the draws? Well, at the moment, we have Andrew Bleakley, our web guy. Andrew's going to be posting that stuff up on the website and also on the Facebook page. So keep an eye out for that shortly.
Well, we're fortunate enough to have it right in front of our eyes. And let me tell you, some of this stuff, some of these heats down the line, the Hubbard brothers are going to go head-to-head against Roberto Bruno and Manuel Centeno. That's going to be an interesting heat. And just looking at all the heats coming up, you don't want to go anywhere. And if you're at work, put on the headphones and don't let your boss see your screen, and you're good to go. Look at this out the back, Alex Uranga.
Well, this is a really critical ride for Alex, and well, he timed that well, and golly, that M zone took care of him, didn't it? It just, you could see just that thing exploded underneath him, almost folded his board. So that was real critical stuff there. Alex Uranga was needing a 4.4. Keeping in mind for that combo, he only got a 4.85, so I don't believe he's going to get that score. We'll just wait and see what the judge's interpretation of that one was.
I think they give him that score for the reason you said. They want to see variety on that wave. He did do, I think, three rolos on the inside, but it was the variety part, aspect of it.
That's why I kind of threw in that little disclaimer there, because sometimes, you see this stuff, and whilst it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye and it looks kind of spectacular, the bottom line is that does it fall in the criteria? Well, most of it did, but not all of it.
Yeah. All right. We got Magno Passos on standby. He's I love it when these guys show up a little early before they come onto the hot seat, and it makes me feel a little bit more relaxed. So Magno on standby. He's going to be coming in heat number 2 of the first round. We got 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, and not really super high scoring waves in this heat. But that's why it's going to be really tight right now.
Yeah, well, I guess judges will be thinking about a couple of things here, Manny. One is that it is the first heat of the day. So what you want to do is you want to set yourself a realistic yardstick. Don't go too high too quick. Otherwise, you leave no room to move. We've got the world's best in some pretty good waves. And the other thing is that the scoring potential right here at the moment has been diminished a little bit by the fact that the tide's very, very low and it's a bit crunchy. Later on, when these guys can combo these things all the way through to shore, we're going to see probably some higher scores. You know, they'll be able to ride right up onto the sand and do a roll right up onto the dry sand. So I reckon judges are keeping all these factors in mind, and this is what a good head judge does, is sets the yardstick at a realistic level in the first heat of the day.
Look at this. Out the back, Guilherme Temega on a nice, clean wave. Nice open section, spin right there. Coming down to the bottom and punch. Oh, the missed timing right there. The wave came down. As soon as you get into that inside bank, it's going to come down on you quick, and your timing has to be on.
That wasn't even a lip. That was just a froth, wasn't it? It was just a whole bunch of, like a cappuccino just coming at him big time, and he had nothing to work with. He just looked at that and went, what do you do with that? You know, and he could have done like some kind of cheeky little roll off it, but, you know, that's not going to get him the points that he wants to replace his second best score of 5.5, so he knows... He knows better than anyone what sort of scoring potential a wave has, so he just threw the board and said, let's get back out there for another one. Well, there's 2 minutes remaining, folks. It is the first heat of the day, the Sintra Portugal Pro for 2012, and he's had a bit of a slow start, but as I said, he only needs a 4.0 to go to second, so super close heat, kind of mid-range scores coming through for everyone, and this thing could really go either way.
Joao Pinheiro once again coming to us from the trials. He was the last one to squeak through. They were the top 7 trialists into the main event, and Joao Pinheiro grabbing that last seat in the truck. And there we have it. We're coming down to the wire. 1 minute, 45 seconds. Guilherme Temega barely holding on to that. Actually, no, he's comfortable because Diego Cabrera only needs a 6.63 for that first place spot. But again, top 2 riders go to round 3. Third and fourth go to round 2. This is a non-elimination round in the showdown format, and we're going to go through 8 heats of round number 1.
Yeah, that's right. Round 3 of the girls, round 4 of the ladies also surfing today. You're going to be able to see some pretty top seeds. There's Tamiga. That's a little better there. And, actually just nosedived coming down from that. That's a big hit on the outside section there for Cabrera, and he'll look at try and sign off with a strong roll. And well, he managed to hold on to that, and that may replace his second best wave, Manny, which was only a very small score of 2.63. Actually, sorry, a 4.5. Well, he's going to beach that one.
Yeah, he's coming all the way in. He knows how much time is left.
Yeah, and I must admit that sometimes an injury can make you, it can make you really think about what's important in your life. And, Diego, I was talking to Diego yesterday. He said, I'm fit and healthy. I've never felt this better in my life. He's got a new appreciation for being normal, and sometimes when you get sick and you think, I just want to be normal, and when I do, I'm going to look after myself so good.
Yep.
Well, sometimes when you get sidelined with an injury, it's the same thing. People come back bigger and better than ever before. And, Joao Pinheiro's last wave, 5.7, and that spells trouble